What's happening? We are on our way to the shop. It is a nice sunny day outside, beautifully hot. Love this Miami summer. And we're gonna use the sun to our advantage so we can start removing the wrap off the car. The car, obviously, under the wrap is a little beat up. The bumpers need some body work. Clap the fender. Well, my boy Fern clapped the fender. We're gonna go ahead and fix that as well. So there's gonna be a couple of things that have to get done to the car before we just get to unwrap and start throwing panels. So this will be kind of, I guess you could say, fun, but it'll be a step-by-step process trying to make sure that everything gets done correctly. And we're gonna be taking you on that whole process, so you kind of get to see what it's like to put together a car that I guess you could say looks like mine. But I'll see you guys at the shop. We were hoping for very sunny, very bright, very hot outside, because it's time to start removing some wrap, and nothing sucks like removing cold wrap. But let me show you the condition of the car right now, and keep in mind that it's been wrapped for about a year. When I say the car is in shambles, I literally mean in shambles. The wrap is burnt insanely. I mean, you can see it. The laminate is just a completely different color. This car was gloss blue, Urban Bamboo from Inazatec. It has that little gold shimmer. When it first got done, it looked absolutely insane. I'll probably insert a couple of videos so you guys can see when it was first done. It looked great, but over the time of the sun beating it up and stuff like that, I mean, I guess it's Miami Heat doesn't play. This material, I don't think it's really meant to last that long either, which it is what it is. I wrapped, so I could go ahead and fix it. But yeah, let me show you a couple things that just got destroyed. I mean, obviously, laminate completely burnt. I have a couple cracks on the bumper itself. Probably just, smacking things, so the bodywork is all messed up. Need to go ahead and fix that. We got over here where my friend buckled my fender, moving my car about a ½ inch, cracked the bumper as well over here, so we're gonna need to fix that. We're gonna need to fix this fender because I am not getting a new one. This car is widened. It'd be very difficult. My side skirts I obliterated a couple months ago. I decided to put off fixing it because I don't have the wrap to re-wrap it this color anyways, so gonna fix that for the whole process. And then I think the last worst part is over here up by the quarter panel and the pillars. I mean, look, we had one crazy week of just raining, and the next thing you know, it just started beating the extra laminate off. Already started peeling. But other than that, that's basically what we're doing to get started. And then a couple fixes, and we'll see what we have to do to get this car looking beautiful again. As explained already, the car is basically in shambles, but the thing about the wrap being burnt, we actually shouldn't really have much of a problem peeling it, because it is the laminate that's burnt, and this wrap is so thick that peeling it off shouldn't come off like your thinner calendar films. So that may be a plus. I know this bottom part, and of course the car was wrapped correctly. The only thing I'm concerned of is because this car was repainted by the previous owner, a couple panels and stuff like that. So the car is sanded down under in certain areas to make sure that the wrap looks good on it, which I can only imagine means that it's probably going to start peeling up more paint, more clear coat, so on and so forth when it comes to unwrapping the car again, which means, yeah, they're going to need to be more prep, more paint that needs to be sanded off, stuff like that. A lot of glue removal going to have to be done for this car. Other than that, it's going to come off just fine. A lot of blue flakes are going to be everywhere, that's for sure. Wrap is actually going pretty freaking nice. I was a little scared of the hood because you saw how burnt it was, and usually when you see really burnt wrap like that, that is a sign that taking that wrap off is going to be absolutely terrible. Luckily for me, it was actually just the laminate. I got it all off. It left some glue residue, but other than that, it came off pretty good. But there is bodywork on this fender, and that's because this fender was pushed out about, I would say, about 1 inch, just so that everything fits the way I want it to. So obviously this got pulled in, bodywork got cracked, everything of the sort. So basically the plan is to re-roll this out to make it obviously the same, all in the same area, kind of smoothing it out, chip away this bodywork, sand it all down, and then basically redo it so I can keep my body line. Why the bodywork is there at all is simply because I didn't want an oval of a fender. A lot of people will just roll it. They widen out the body line. It kind of looks less prominent. I'm not a big fan of that. I wanted it to look as OEM as possible. So that's basically what we did. Did the same to my quarter panels. So that's the reason why that's like that for you, not everybody not wondering. Fenders were never painted. Switched them out of my OEM ones when I did this blue setup, so probably not going to paint these either until I decide that I'm going to be done wrapping the car itself and just paint it fully. So right now the sun is beaming, so I'm going to try to take off some more wrap, have some fun with that, and then, I don't know, keep on going till I get too tired and then keep on the next day. Finally was able to spare some time to start working on this, because after we took off most of the wrap, there was really no progress at all. Don't mind my little tilty intercooler that happened during GAT. But most of the wrap off. A lot of the places that were sanded, they kind of stayed good, so we don't really have to resand. I might just kind of wet sand those areas, make sure they're flat, go over it again, but really this thing needs a wash to be able to do a full inspection on what's needed for the car, because I mean, you can see on the back here removing the wrap, had a bunch of glue and some of the primer kind of came off, so a little wet sand to make sure that the wrap comes out flat will do us good. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, get this thing washed so we can figure out.
I don't wanna do shit on this bucket.
Actually washed, we got a lot of dust that's off, and we get to, well, really feel it with your hand. I mean, I don't know if you've ever done body work, but when you do, notice body man's hands are always dirty because you can't do it with gloves, because you got to feel the work that you're doing. So a situation like this where paint got peeled off, you sand that, try to make it flat as possible, and if you can't feel it, chances are you won't see it in the wrap. But paint peeled off here, and you'll definitely see it over that. And then also, if we have to pick up for whatever reason in this area, it's going to peel off more paint. So you definitely have to prep your car like you are painting to wrap your car, because if not, it won't come out good. That's 100%. Typically, after your wash, you don't have to worry about it too much. You'll just clay bar the whole car, because if you're wrapping a car with new paint or clean paint, you don't really have to worry about it. But since this car clearly doesn't have the paint up to standard, we have to sand around, and we're feeling around a bunch. And now that we've sanded everything that we needed, I'm going to go around with a heavy clay bar, just because I don't want any sediments going by. Typically you wouldn't, because it can mar your paint. If it is new paint or softer paint or whatever the case may be, you would use just a regular clay bar, which you don't really need to go too heavy on. But I'm going to do it because obviously my paint's not in great condition anyways, and I don't want any sediments inside of my wrap, given that this is what I do for a living. A lot of the times you'll know when a panel is prepped when you're clay barring the whole panel. There's areas that you'll hear, and there's areas that you won't. So if the camera was able to pick up that sound, that's because it's going over contamination over your paint. The idea is to keep on going until you don't hear it anymore. When you stop hearing it, the contamination's gone, and ideally you'll be ready for wrap. You could always double check with your hand to make sure you don't feel anything, but use your ears too. Prep to completion, the roll is out. Might black and white this. Maybe you'll see it. I'll decide. I don't know yet. Maybe the whole time I'm rapping, it's just gonna be a time lapse with some Addams Family music going on. Alright, cutting out this side as we typically would. Again, this is probably gonna be black and white, but at least you can see what goes on here. Here, I'll hold the whole wrap, just secure that. Yeah, the thing about a Nasatec is that when you're wrapping it, if you do not store the roll correctly, you don't tighten it up after you're done, you will clap the entire roll real quick. There's too much tension, it'll go ahead and tunnel up, and those will give you lines that you will not be able to get out. Well, if you heat it up, it may come away, but the only problem with that is it's very hard to install the whole panel and then also heat up the whole piece of wrap that you need without getting contamination within it as well. It almost makes it impossible to install, especially with this type of film. stick to the car right now. Look at the top. Oh, oh yeah. You want to have it down to the ground? That way we cut out the side skirt perfectly. Cut out the side skirt about like that. A lot of extra material here. Got it? Yeah, we're good right there, right? Oh my goodness, though, this color looks so good. I don't even think the camera does it justice. This color is freaking beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see it, but I mean, look at that gloss. You can see, it's like a mirror. You can see them. There's a reason why I go with the Nozzletech, even though so many people. That's probably not the best place to put that. One side is actually completely wrapped. We're gonna go ahead and wash the other side, get any dust that was laying around on it, and start prepping for that until we have to go ahead and fix up the front end.
It looks like sandpaper. Yeah, it looks like shit.
Whoa. I think I got a leak.
What? Should just use the blower.
Yeah, well, inside.
Inside.
Yeah, I want to blow a bunch of dust.
Dust. I hate dust.
I hate it when I blow dust too. Kind of feels like a good time to just film an ender. Gonna do some door handles, some accessory parts, just because I finished all the work here at the shop, and trying to build your car, or at least put together your car with the few hours that you have left in the day after you do all the work that's needed for the shop itself, the business you're trying to run. I definitely start to feel burnt out, very tired. So trying to go ahead and wrap my own car while I'm tired probably isn't the best idea, given that the material is very difficult to work with, and when you're tired it's the easiest time to make mistakes. It's probably going to be that. Do some door handles, continue back next time when I get to see the car. Probably fix up the front end. The fender already got started on. Fix up the bumper where it cracked. Also on the part where the fender where it got demolished after the fender got buckled by my boy. And then basically we'll be able to go ahead and continue wrapping the rest of the car, which will be the bumpers, hood, roof, and trunk. Lucky for me, probably gonna have a couple friends come by, help me out with that process, so that'll be fun because it's always easier and more enjoyable to do things with a couple of friends. So definitely gonna have some fun with that, and then that's it. The wrap will basically be done. We'll be going ahead and showing you the wheels that I need to do. I need to polish some lips, fix some curb rash, build them, and then you'll finally actually get to see them, and I'll reveal them to you probably in the next video. We'll just be doing all that. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. This is my first time doing this. The editing probably is gonna suck. The clips probably ain't even gonna be the best. I realize how difficult it is to go ahead and be a cameraman while you're trying to be the person in the camera. So, but having a lot of fun with this. Check me out. Stay tuned, or whatever the case may be. We have a lot of fun things that we do around here. Anything that you guys want to see when it comes to the shop, rapping, stuff like that. Y'all let me know. I can do it all.